was a poster child for financial education? Just think 2020. That year was brutal, not just in terms of the health concerns of the pandemic, but perhaps more painfully because of the financial fallout. That year really put everyone's financial fragility into focus. A lack of emergency funds, a soaring credit card debt, and the absence of any long-term wealth-building activity. Now, schools don't teach this either. Neither do high schools or business schools, for that matter. Our kids are going to graduate into some of the most economically challenging times in modern history, and they're going to do this with zero training in money. As parents, we aren't sure how we can help either. We haven't had any formal training on the subject. We learned by making expensive mistakes through trial and error. Most of us are barely getting by ourselves. We aren't sure that we are the right people to be training and advising our kids. And then there's the proximity bias. We aren't really sure our kids really listen to us. It's like white noise when we speak. What's made this worse is that the pervasiveness of social media has brought consumer advertising right into our kids' bedrooms. Our kids are being served up with targeted advertising messages that sell them anything from Billie Eilish and K-pop merch to online stock trading classes. These companies spend a lot of money selling to our kids who have zero training in how to buy. The consequences of this aren't good. Our kids are clueless about money. They are spending more money than any generation ever did before them. And the economy is on life support. It's the brewing of a perfect storm. But it doesn't have to be like that. There are 3 key things that are helpful to remember. The first is that the steps and actions that we take today can dramatically affect our child's financial success. Second is that the earlier we start, the better it is for them. They get more time to internalize the knowledge and for it to be hardwired in them. There's an Arab proverb which says that what's taught in youth is carved in stone. And there's data to back this up. Kids who take a course in financial education are more likely to save, less likely to max out their credit cards, less likely to be compulsive buyers. Just 10 hours of a financial education program can significantly impact a teen's spending and saving habits. And the third thing to remember is that, contrary to popular belief, it's not hard or difficult. It doesn't take ages to study the topic, and you do begin to see results almost immediately. What are these results? Well, your teen's going to be smarter based on what they studied in the program, richer because this knowledge directly translates into added or saved wealth, and braver because this competence builds up their self-confidence, and that is a wonderful thing to see in a teenager. They're also primed to notice and act on opportunities which they otherwise wouldn't have. That's what we mean by braver. How do we do this? We've taken the normally dry, boring financial education curriculum, flipped it on its head, and turned it into a simple, fun, immensely relatable program for teens. It's like we said, smarter, richer, braver teens. And parents who worry less. Now, I say worry less, not worry-free, because worrying seems to be an integral part of what we do as parents. I started the Kids Finance Initiative 4 years ago when my kids were 8 and 10 because I was worried that they would make the same money mistakes that I did or that I see people around me making. I've seen up close how crucial this skill is for a person's ability to step up, play full out, and live a life on their own terms, which is what I want for my kids, which is what I think any parent wants for their kids, which is why I started the Kids Finance Initiative. It's a labor of love, not just for my kids, but for any kid who'd like to learn differently. At KFI, it's not just what we do, it's also how we do it. You see, we aren't just experts in teaching financial education to teens. We're also experts in teaching it to them in a way that they love to learn. If any of you have teens or has ever been a teen, you'll appreciate how important that is. The kids we teach are our highest priority, and this is reflected in all of our actions and decisions. We really are the best at what we do because we don't just have skin in this game. We have our hearts there too.